Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new time lapse on the channel today. It has been a while since the last one of these, so I decided, I'm guessing you guys want another one. And for today's time lapse, I decided to build a palace on a pretty big island, of course. And after getting the island and a little bit of this platform done, I didn't realize I didn't turn the replay mode on. So sorry about you guys missing that first bit, but real quick, let me turn these shaders off so you can actually see. Now that you guys can see, I start working on the layout of the palace itself. Working on a little bit of like the balcony kind of things that come up from the ground with the foundation, of course. And laying out where I want all the like rooms and such to be, as well as a big courtyard in the middle. And I like to use different colored wools for different layers that I'm on a build, so that's definitely something to think about if you're building a palace as well. I add a couple of little grass bits here in the front that later on in this build we will add some foliage and leaves to that. With that in place, I go on to the foundation area of this and start texturing it a little bit, and then I realize I need more of it around the palace itself, so I go ahead and add that as well. I also add a couple more grass bits off to the side of the whole palace, and then I shape out the back area of this build, adding that concrete there and making the grass a little bit bigger. After that is finished, I go on and work on the main front staircase. For this I use stone and stone slabs for the actual stairs, and then around it for the railings I thought adding anvils to this build was a really good idea because I haven't used anvils in quite some time for a build. Now let's move on. I start to work on the palette for this build. I don't use all these blocks in the end, but I get a little bit of a palette going so I know what blocks to build with. And now we can start on the actual structure itself. I start on kind of like the main bottom wall for this palace, and I think it turns out pretty good. I use sandstone for this, and then later on we will build on top of this with some quartz and other white blocks. Here is where I start adding up the windows and the white walls, and I don't know, it's looking pretty epic. But anyways, for these windows on this build, I decided to use trapdoors, iron trapdoors in specific, to match with the white walls, and I think it ends up looking really good. Obviously, I did have to use World Edit for the iron trapdoors to make them go up and down and such, but it's what I want, so that's what I gotta do. And a lot of palaces in real life have kind of the same exterior on either side. It's pretty much a mirror image, so that's what I've been doing with this, copying it over and pasting it to the other side. Before moving on to the roof, I do one more quick thing with finishing off this main front entrance, adding a little bit of a balcony up top. And now we can move on to the roof. For these roofs, I go with prismarine as well as some polished andesite as some like little bit of trim. I also do add a little bit of these kind of spike things coming off that I think turn out really cool and definitely finish off the roof all in all. I also tried to use a bunch of different slopes in the roofs of all like around the palace, so that's pretty cool, and I think it ends up looking really nice, and it gives it a little bit of variation. With the main structure set in place, we can go on to finish the whole outside of the palace. You'll notice I do use a lot of copy pasting because the walls are very similar, and the windows I want to keep the same throughout the whole exterior and interior of the palace, I guess, yeah. Now I think let's take a break from doing some structure building and work on some landscaping. Alright, so first starting off on the front of the palace, I do add a little bit of some grass spots here and there, as well as I'm putting in some trees. Also, that center circle, I thought I was going to turn it into a grass spot, but I did end up turning it into a fountain. I try to add some cool designs with the leaves and where I put that and stuff, and then I also elevate some more grass area with trees off to the side. Now moving on to the sides, I do extend this out quite a bit so I can add more designs with the leaves and grass and such. You'll also notice I do add like a little bit of a water pool off to the side, and I do copy this over to the other side as well. And finally going on to the back side and finishing up that spot kind of with the same idea in plan. Also doing the little courtyard in the middle of the palace as well. And the last thing we do for this build is we build a dock, right? Because, like, how's the owner gonna get to his palace? So that's what I do. I don't add any ships, just the dock with a little bit of a staircase leading up. Alright, let's see what we have come up with. Alright guys, and that is the end of the video pretty much. I wanted to do one little bit of a walkthrough with you guys, just showing you guys off the build and all that jazz. So we're going to make our way up these stairs. I'm really happy with how this whole build came out. It's probably my biggest solo build to date. And gosh, that's a bright sun right there. And I love how you just come up these stairs and it's sitting right here. This is so awesome. I am so happy with how this build came out, guys. It's so immersive to me. I feel like it's pretty immersive, and it's clean, and it just looks so awesome. I'm really happy with how this fountain turned out too. I don't know. I use these slabs up here. I do have barrier blocks here to make it look a little bit better, but the slabs, and then you just waterlog it in 1.14. So very cool, and I'm really happy with that. And of course, the garden and leaves and stuff is looking amazing as always. And even just these like front stairs here are really cool too. I really like those. I did not do the interior for this thing because it would have taken ages, absolute ages. But if you want to download this build and do the interior yourself, then feel free to, because I'm probably not gonna do it. But yeah, I put some floors in this stuff. Just to maybe help you out if you wanted to do that. This courtyard is pretty amazing too. It's just feels so grand. It makes the palace feel even more grand when you're in it. And it's super cool and immersive. And even just this backside back here, I think I'm just so happy with how this whole build turned out. Like I said, these trees too. Pretty good trees if I do say so myself. And this view is also a great view of the palace.
I really do also like the side view of the palace. I think that turned out great as well, with this a bunch of different sloped roofs, like the more Victorian style one there, and then I don't know, Greek style maybe, I don't know, but it's really cool and I am super happy with that.
Alright guys, that is going to be the end of this video. If you liked it, be sure to hit the like button down below. That helps a ton with the channel, as well as hit that red subscribe button down below. That helps a ton as well, and it keeps me going, so thank you guys so much. Also, you can download this build for free in the link in the description if you do want that. It'll bring you to a Planet Minecraft page. But other than that guys, that is all I have. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.